Hi, Jim Dowdalls. I'm going to do a demo today on gesture drawing. These are going to be about 2 minutes. They are going to be two-minute sketches. I'm going to talk about best way moving forward, best way to hold your pencil, best way to lift up your paper so you're not drawing flat on a table. Get it up as high as you can on your drawing board. We're going to be using 18 by 24 paper. Always use a drawing board. Don't just use a pad. You need that solid board underneath your paper. I've got a Derwent drawing pencil. It's my favorite pencil. It's somewhere in between I'd say a graphite and a colored pencil, something similar to that. I've also got a woodless graphite pencil that I'm going to do a little drawing with. And one that I highly recommend is an ebony pencil, and there's the brand name on it right there. And it's a nice, deep, rich black pencil. I don't want you to use any light pencils. No 2H, no H. Anything darker than say a 2B would be okay. 2B, 4B, 6B, and on. Ebony is right in there with a 6B. It's about a 6B. The Derwent drawing pencil and all of these pencils, you can draw as light as you want to with them, and you can also draw dark, which you can't do with super hard light pencils. Okay? So before I start with a gesture drawing, I always like to warm up a little bit, and some of the warm up that you could consider doing would be the kind of marks that you're going to make over and over. So, you know, if you consider the eggs in the sack, in the gunny sack, you know, you're thinking about these eggs that are about the same size and overlap each other, and this egg is going to be the rib cage, and this egg is going to be the pelvis with the muscles on top. Okay, so that gives you the opportunity to rotate these around each other. So maybe the model is leaning way back, and this would be the midline, and the spine would come through here like this. So these are good warm-up exercises. Any marks that you're making that are organic and flowing from one form into the other, it's always a good idea to warm up like something like that. Okay, getting started with this first one of berry, and I'm going to take just a minute to analyze the pose and then start. And I'm starting with my eggs. Right away I can move into head and neck. I'm just lightly blocking everything in right now. I want to know where everything's going. I want to go all the way down to the ground right away, lightly. And then I'm going to come back in and start working on the anatomy that I want to show. So we'll start with the arm. We'll start with the areas that are closest to the body. Torso, chest. I should be timing myself on this first one. I'll give myself a little bit of a break, but I want you to time yourself. So get into the habit, and I'm warming up too because I haven't drawn in a while. Get in the habit of trying to make one line. That's a foot. Instead of sketchy little lines, just draw through as much as possible. Shoulders, neck into shoulders. It's coming up. There's an ear for landmark. Just coming up on 2 minutes, and I just want to emphasize a few things. That's a hand. There's another hand. That's all you need. A little bit of belly. Oops. Okay, long pencils are great, but that's what happens sometimes. It's still a long pencil. Okay, let's do another one. Okay, I set the timer this time. So I probably should move her back because what we're going to do is extend those arms way out. So anyway, let's see how that works. Okay. Straight down to the ground. Other leg. Draw through. Head's coming way forward. Arms up here, shoulders up here. Scapula. Middle of the breast, right here. The two breasts. Rib cage. Okay, let's start. Okay, first leg, forward leg. Knee, calf, tippy toe, back leg. All you see is a little bit of a calf and leg. Okay. Head. Finish with the arm. That's a finger. That's a hand. That's a finger. Okay. Overlap. Shoulder. Back. That's where the action's at right there, so I want to accent that. Okay, and that's it. Okay, got the timer on. All right, oops. All right. There's the spine, I can see that, so I'm going to use that right away. These two eggs are overlapping. Right into this leg, all the way down to the ground. This leg, knees bent, all the way down to the ground. Shoulder, arm, hand. I'm going to come back in and get that, but I want to just make sure I know where everything's at. Okay, shoulders, neck, head. Buried a little bit more. There we go. Okay. All right. Around the arm to the elbow, deltoid to the elbow. Come back in, torso. Right into the butt. Right down into the leg. So this is not meant to be the outside of the leg, the top or the bottom. It's just indicating where the leg's going to go. And I can come back in and contour the leg. Because I know I can concentrate on contouring it because I know where everything's going to go. Bottom arm, and that's it. Okay. Okay, let's do one more here. It's a very graceful pose. I'm going to start off with the feeling, the overall feeling of the pose, and it's this nice, beautiful curve, and another curve, C curve, right into the base of the foot. So come back in now, and that doesn't necessarily mean you be an outline, outside line. It could be an inside line. I want her rib cage to pull out. I want her torso to pull back. I want her arms to come down and out. I want this arm to come out and over. So that leaves neck and head. I'm not going to spend a lot of time on either. Just enough so you can recognize what's going on. Okay. So, front leg, And I didn't indicate where this was going, so it's going to go here and it's going to go there. Okay. Knee, calf, foot, back leg, draw through, come back, shoulder, chest, arm, just a little indication of her fingers there. Come back in, prominent navel, breast. Just come back up and get this arm, shoulder, this is good emphasis right here. A little wider on the back, a little more hip. And didn't set the timer again, but let's call it finished. Okay, so that's just the start. That's getting started. I did about 6 of these. It's your turn to get started with your gestures. You could do this size if you want to. You can work a little bit smaller and do 3 or 4 on a page. Make sure that you stay away from the bottom of the page because that angle doesn't draw very well. You're better off up here. Turn it if you like and work landscape, horizontal format. Do 3 across this way if you want to. But don't work too small, especially beginners. You want to use your arm and your hand, not your fingers so much. And remember, I'm using an underhand method of holding the pencil, and I can move around the drawing much better like that than holding it on the point. I've got a lot more variety with line marks, line making, with holding it underhanded as well. So remember that, okay?